I think एक इंसान इंडियन तभी हो सकता है अगर वो अच्छा इंसान हो. Our diversity is our biggest strength and biggest weakness. I think it's for me it's historic. Historic because we got the representation right for the first time in Hindi cinema. Myths busted, new revelations that I got to know it's a matriarchal society. That mother's name gets carried forward in Nagaland especially. No other thing. I think it was a revelation because it's such a beautiful place. Meghalaya is called the Scotland of the East. Shillong is called the Scotland of the East. It's so beautiful. Kaziranga National Park is beautiful. There's so many tourist destinations. Sikkim, Arunachal. It's full of beauty. And at the same time, you should not view Anek with a commercial lens. It's not that film. Mainstream media doesn't talk about. Like, of course, Kashmir has been spoken about so many times. In films, in media, like you're obsessed with Kashmir. But Northeast, nobody cares. Yeah, because it's been 10 years in the industry. And I'm glad I've taken that genre for 10 years. And I want to take it easy. For me, Article 15, Andhadhun and Anek, it's not my genre.
Hello everyone, you are watching Bollywood Bubble. This is Akash Bhatnagar and today I'm sitting with a person जो इंसान है एक और उनका कैलिबर and उनके रूप है अनेक. So welcome Ayushmann Khurrana to Bollywood Bubble.
Thank you Akash for this wonderful introduction. एक subtle plug भी हो गया film का, which is great.
That's where I shine. The wordplay.
Thank you.
I have to start by asking, like, the biggest plus point of this film has to be you and Anubhav sir coming together. What is it about this bond, that equation that kind of always pulls you back to him and kind of makes you reinvent yourself every time?
Our connection is such, Anubhav sir and I, that we want to collaborate again and again, probably every year, because he's such a master craftsman and he has a distinct voice as a director. And Anek is again very unexplored, very different, very important, and all those adjectives which you use while promoting a film which is issue based. But again, I think it's for me it's historic. Historic because we got the representation right for the first time in Hindi cinema.
And I have to say, I'll again use the little wordplay. हम चाहेंगे आपके अनेक collaborations होते रहे हर साल. So again, subtle plug. Yeah. Also, like as you said, like the first thing I saw when I saw the trailer with me was like it hit me. I was like, these issues we have spoken about, we have discussed a lot in verbal sense, but never has been that kind of a representation in cinema. And that kind of hit me. Even a simple thing like लोग हमें चिंकी बोलते हैं. That kind of hits you. Like somewhere down the line, you have also been a part of the problem. So for you, when was the first time you realized that Northeastern India was not just a section, a region that was to be clubbed together and just to be spotted on the geography map, and not actually has an own identity of itself?
When I was in college, I had a band member from Northeast, from Manipur, and that was the time it was my induction towards the racial slurs that Northeasterners used to suffer in the mainland. We had a small community of Northeasterners in Chandigarh during our college days. They were very active in arts, theatre, music. So they were a bunch of great people, but they used to face a lot of flack that, they had this grouse against the mainland that उनको ठीक तरह से उनको treat नहीं किया जाता. बहुत racism होती है उनके साथ. So that was quite unfair. तो दिमाग में मेरे बात बैठी हुई थी. And while being a part of MTV or shooting India's Got Talent, there was Shillong Chamber Choir who got the first prize and who were the winners of India's Got Talent. So I've been to Northeast a lot of times for work and also for vacations. So I know that region pretty well, and I'm close to some people from Northeast. So it comes from empathy, from people to people contact, first-hand experiences. So I'm fortunate that I was in touch with people from that region, and it evoked a lot of empathy.
Yeah, and talking about that, like, was it the first time you visited Northeast, and what was your experience like? Was there any myths busted for you because people?
First time must have been, I think, in Assam during India's Got Talent in 2007. But I was in touch with, as I said, students from Northeast in Chandigarh in mid-2000s when I was in college. So that was always there. Myths busted, new revelations that I got to know it's a matriarchal society. That mother's name gets carried forward in Nagaland especially. And there was no other thing. I think it was a revelation because it's such a beautiful place. Meghalaya is called the Scotland of the East. Shillong is called the Scotland of the East. It's so beautiful. It's Kaziranga National Park is beautiful. There's so many tourist destinations. Sikkim, Arunachal. It's full of beauty.
Yeah. And like right now, when you were shooting for the film, you are kind of exploring the place as well. Did you observe anything, any issues that they were facing that you think that should be highlighted nationally that are not yet spoken about as much?
Mainstream media doesn't cover Northeast. Assam is, I think, it struggles with flooding every year, but it doesn't reach Mumbai and other big cities. So I think that's unfortunate. And we don't carry news, we don't make films on Northeast. So that's why I called Anek as a historic film, because this is the first time they are, probably highlighting that issue. And this is the first attempt by Hindi cinema or Indian cinema to join Northeast to the mainstream.
Yeah, and I'm not just saying it for the sake of it, but actually that trailer had that effect on me, because I was actually introspecting myself for the full one day, and I was discussing it with people I was meeting, that I actually feel that I have been a part of the problem as well somewhere down the line, if not directly, indirectly, and that is what the film is kind of forcing you to think about and explore, and that is a big thanks to you.
Thank you.
And Anubhav sir.
Of course, he's the captain of the ship, and the research comes from his side. And it's very important that a film like this should be handled well. And Anubhav Sinha is the best name that can handle this particular genre.
Yeah, and I have to say, like, it takes people a lifetime, and several times it does not happen at all. But you have kind of been able to make a name for something. That a genre is now called the Ayushmann Khurrana genre. And a lot has been spoken to you about it, about how does it feel and all. But what I want to ask you is that, does it ever feel restrictive in a way that, since you are kind of said Ayushmann Khurrana genre, people might not accept you, be it the audience or the industry itself, if you do something else?
For me, Article 15, Andhadhun and Anek, it's not my genre.
Yeah.
Social comedies, middle class issues, this is my core genre. But Article 15, Andhadhun, Anek, action hero, in the coming, it's releasing this year. These films are genre breaker for me.
Yeah.
So it's important to have your core genre and then break it away from for a while and then come back again. So that's what my plan is, in a way. But it really depends. I think if you're an actor, you should be ready for anything. I'm glad that they don't see me in a certain space, because if you don't give them a shock, I think it won't be a surprise, it won't be a reinvention. So if I exhaust myself in every genre, every role, far too quickly in my career, so there'll be nothing for audience to explore.
Yeah, and I feel like the next phase is the action Ayushmann.
Yeah.
Because like Anek, we are seeing it. We saw the buffed up version of you in Chandigarh as well.
Yeah.
And now that action heroes, the name mein hi action.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing like the action is the way forward for a couple
because it's been 10 years in the industry. And I'm glad I've taken that genre for 10 years. And I want to take it easy. If I do different kind of genres in the first couple of years, तो कुछ बचा ही नहीं इसके अंदर और क्या करेंगे? So धीरे-धीरे पत्ते खुलने दो.
Yeah.
So
true.
Let me have fun.
And also like Chandigarh, where we saw your buffed up avatar. Then in Anek, we are seeing that rugged version of Ayushmann. All this physical transformation that you are undergoing. How is that affecting your mental state as per your craft that you undertaking?
You know, it's not something which is drastic or maybe overnight. Throughout the lockdown, I was just working out, and I wanted to utilize that time for physical transformation, because otherwise I was just busy shooting 3 films, doing ads, doing events. I had no time for that transformation. So I thought that was the perfect time, should be utilized for physical transformation, which I used in Chandigarh Kare Aashki. And immediately that film, after Chandigarh Kare Aashki, I started shooting for Anek. So I used that body by transformation in Anek as well. So I had to lose muscle again for Dr. G and gain little bit of athleticism and lean physique for action hero, for that flexibility and everything. So I could not buff up again. So I think it changes with every character. So and till the time it's not drastic, it doesn't affect you mentally. So it has to be like, you should give time to your body.
I'm so really waiting for action hero. Like Ayushmann will always be in the boy next door. To see him in that avatar will be like very, very interesting to see as an audience film.
I'm also very excited for that film. It's a hardcore commercial film. And I'm really excited for that one as well.
Also, like the dialogue in your trailer goes like, Indian kaise hota hai? So if you have to define, according to your opinion, एक इंसान Indian कैसे होता है?
I think एक इंसान Indian तभी हो सकता है अगर वो अच्छा इंसान हो. Our diversity is our biggest strength and biggest weakness. So it really depends on us कि हमें उसे strength बनाना है, weakness बनाना है. अगर हम inclusive नहीं होंगे और हर एक को अपने religion, भाषा, region पर divide करते रहेंगे तो हम वो Indian नहीं है. So I guess this is that country where everything should be accepted, every language, diversity should be accepted. वही इंडिया है.
And like the Bollywood Do has done such amazing work. You are the next one in line. Does that increases kind of hopes that raises the expectations from the box office now?
You know, I've said this before that expectation is a privilege. So it's a good pressure to have.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you should not view Anek with a commercial lens. It's not that film.
Yeah.
It's a commercial. It's an Anubhav Sinha film. It's that film जहाँ पे दिल और दिमाग दोनों का इस्तेमाल होगा. It's an important film.
Yeah.
Commercial films are like Dream Girl, Bala, or Action Hero coming forward. But Anek is an important film which should be showed in every era. For me, it's an historic film because we got the representation right. We ticked all the right boxes. There is no savior complex in the film. Everything is there, and जिनकी कहानी उनकी जुबानी दिखाई जा रही है. North East के लोग forefront पे रखे गए हैं. We've passed on the mic to them. So Anek is something which is very, very close to my heart. It's food for soul.
I love that you said that there is no savior complex in it, because a lot of time when we talk about such stories, that is how it turns out to be. Like a hero coming in to save. But I'm really glad that that is in the case here. But like talking about what you said, like ever since the pandemic we have returned, the audience have kind of hinted that they are looking for heroism or the grandeur or the commercial space, if we take the latest case.
Yeah.
Do you feel somewhere that since you said it's a poignant film, but it is not that commercial kind of space?
Yeah.
Do you feel a little apprehensive about how it might work on the box office?
I think it should economically work overall. Like the producers are already in plus. So it really depends. The economics of the film should work.
Yeah.
And it has worked for Anek. For every film, the economics are different.
Yeah.
So if economics are fine, you don't take pressure off the box office or anything because you're making an important film. You also take it in your head that this is that film. So you decide about your economics also at the same time. So I think it works for this film.
Yeah.
So as far as it's a plus, it's great.
But also like as an audience, I feel like the last indie film that worked wonders was the Kashmir Files, and it showed kind of like the plight of the Kashmiris. And now you are showing that kind of a situation of the discrimination the Northeast faces.
Yeah.
I'm sure the films are completely different, and I'm sure that's gonna be the case. But like that one point of similarity that they are showing what people go through, that might work in the favor of Anek.
I hope it does, because it's something which mainstream media doesn't talk about.
Yeah.
Like, of course, Kashmir has been spoken about so many times.
Yeah.
In films, in media, like you're obsessed with Kashmir.
Yeah.
But Northeast, nobody cares. It's unfortunate. Like Assam में अगर flood आते हैं, मुंबई में पता नहीं चलता. हर साल flood आते हैं. So it's that. And end of the day, it doesn't matter. एक अच्छी फिल्म चलेगी. चाहे वो किसी की कहानी हो, चाहे वो कश्मीर फाइल्स हो या अनेक हो, अगर आप if you can evoke empathy through your film, then it'll work.
Yeah. And I have to say, you mentioned Dream Girl just in a previous answer, and I was talking to Raj sir, and he had said Dream Girl 2 is in the making, and he said he won't make it without you and Nusrat.
Yeah.
So is that happening?
We are talking about it. We are still, but I would love to do the franchise Dream Girl 2, definitely.
Yeah, like he has to give in a little go ahead of it.
Okay.
So I'm just hoping that kind of completely. He has invited me to his office to kind of talk about it more. So I'm hoping that happens soon, because I'm waiting for it eagerly. But I have to say, Ayushmann, it was an amazing time I had. You have always been special in my career, and after this, you became all the more special.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Wishing you loads and loads of love and luck for Anek. Is gonna do wonders.
Thanks,
Hope you had a great time, because I did.
Great time. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.